Welcome to Grandad's Reviews. Just a quick note, we're in the new studio. Let's see how it goes. Might have to change the lighting around a bit, just going to get used to it. But I just thought I'd say we are now in the new studio. In this video, I'm going to go back onto one of my normal topics, which is using Canon lenses on my Fuji cameras. And in this video I want to basically have a quick discussion about why I've done it and if my reasons and my situation are similar to yours, and would this be an advantage to you as well. So I've purchased myself a collection of Canon lenses which are not in competition, but are similar to a collection of Fuji lenses you would have. So in the Fuji lens lineup, the lenses I would have for what I do, which is photography and video, would be the 10-24, the 16-55 f2.8, the 55-200. I'd have a 50mm prime, and I'd have the 100-400 for doing like the wildlife, videography and that sort of thing. So in my situation for my reasons, I decided to go for the Canon lenses. Now, that's not to say the Fuji lenses aren't excellent, they are, and I would recommend that if you are going to be using the Fuji system yourself and you haven't probably got the same reasons and situations as me, then stick to your Fuji lenses. They're extremely well built, they're very high quality optically, they are designed for Fuji, so the AF is the best it can be, and the colours for the sensor are all in that lens. So I didn't change and move to Canon for any reason that the Fuji lenses were inferior. I left for different reasons. Now, one of those reasons is cost. If you look at those Fuji lenses, they're not over expensive compared to some camera lens systems. Even Canon's versions of those lenses are similar priced. So for new, the two sets of lenses are about the same price. And I've actually got the figures here. Yeah, for those Fuji lenses you're looking at £5,000. For the similar ones that I picked to match those is about £5,000. But where the difference is in the used market. Now I'll tell you that the lenses I've picked from the Canon system, I've picked the 10-18, which is an EFS lens, so it'll only fit on APS-C cameras. I've picked the 17-55 f2.8, which again is an EFS lens which will only fit APS-C lenses. I picked the 50mm 1.8, which is a full frame. I picked the 70-200 L-glass f4, and I've picked the 100-400 L-glass, which is a 4.5 to 5.6. So these kind of marry up with those Fuji lenses. But cost-wise, used, there's a huge difference. Now, the lenses I particularly got, I got some good deals. You can get good deals, bad deals, whatever. So I'll show you the prices that you can get them for when I made this video new. And these prices are all taken from Wex here in the UK. And I'll also show you the used prices that are on MPB in the UK here, and you'll see the price difference. But going used, using those figures, I've saved about £1,000 over the used Fuji versions. But that wasn't my prime reason for having the Canon lenses. The other reason is versatility. These Canon lenses, they fit the Fuji. I use the Fringer Pro 2 adapter, but I also use the Viltrox FX2 speed booster adapter. So my full frame Canon lenses, I get an extra stop of light. So my f4 70-200 becomes a 2.8, but only regarding exposure, not depth of field or anything like that. The aperture hole stays the same. It's just for exposure, but I do gain an extra stop of light. And my field of view changes. So there's some advantages there. Plus the fact that in the future, I may change to a cinema camera. So I've been looking at the Blackmagic 6K Pro or the Zcam E2S6. Both are APS-C or Super 35. Both EF mount, so these lenses will go straight onto those. So they're my reasons for changing. I don't want to compare these Canon lenses to the Fuji lenses because that's not what this video is about. It's about why I would decide to buy Canon lenses over Fuji lenses and what's my reason for doing that. I say one is cost. On the second-hand market, they're a lot cheaper. One of the other reasons is availability. Not new, but on the used market. You look up Fuji used lenses, there's nowhere near as many as for Canon. And so that's one of the other things, actual availability. But I did write down some fors and against. So for Fujis, I've got, it's a native AF, so it's more stable and it's more reliable. You don't need an adapter, obviously, that's straight off the bat. The quality, so the build quality and the optical quality is all excellent. The size of the lenses complements the system as well. If you compare the size of a Fuji lens to a Canon lens, full frame lens, you'll see the difference. The get against the Fuji lens, the cost, not so much the new cost, but the used cost. Availability, there's more Canons on the used market than there is Fujis. They only fit Fuji. I can't use my Fuji lenses on any other camera. And they're not designed for video. They're not a video lens. The Canon lenses aren't designed for video, but they're more usable for video. So for and against on the Canon side, obviously the cost used, they're a lot cheaper. The availability used is a lot more. I can use these lenses with a speed booster or not a speed booster. Quality again, the build quality and the optics, especially the L glass. Yeah, you know, it's well known, the optical quality. There's more fast lenses. There's more long telephotos than in the Fuji. Again, it fits any EF mount camera or any mirrorless camera that's got a EF to its adapter. So if I wanted to go to L mount with a Panasonic, I can still get an EF to L mount. Against the AF on the Fuji, when it's good, but at times it can be bad, especially with the Viltrox. And the size of them can be a disadvantage. I mean, this is the 17-55. Now, if you've got the Fuji 16-55, you're looking probably half this size. But the 10-18 is a lot smaller than the 10-24. So swings and roundabouts. The 70-200, it's roughly the similar size to the Fuji 55-200. The disadvantage with the Fuji is it extends, whereas this one doesn't. And if you've seen my video comparing the Canon 100-400 to the Fuji 100-400, you'll see that these are basically the same size. Some people say that these Canon lenses are heavier. Got some figures on that. You're looking at that whole set of Fuji lenses weighs 3,220 grams or 3.2 kilograms. All the Canons weigh 3,460, so 3.4 kilos. So there's not a huge difference in weight. Now, the one thing that someone might say is, well, yes, I've got to get an adapter. And we've got the Fringer and the Biltrox. So if someone's considering buying a Canon lens because it's cheaper, I mean, this 16 to 55 Fuji is going to cost you second hand around about £480. This 17 to 55 is going to cost you about 200. In fact, I got this one for 160 because they were doing a bit of a deal. But then you've got to add in your adapter. So if you were just going to buy this and the adapter, I'd say don't do it. Buy the Fuji 16 to 55. Really, that's the best way to go. When it comes to the adapters, the way to make the adapter cheaper, in a sense, is to buy more than one Canon lens. Also, I think if you're already a Canon shooter and you've got these lenses, keep them. Just buy the adapter. You're splitting the price of this adapter over these 5 lenses. So I think second hand, I found one of these for 250. I paid 200, but they're about 250 now second hand. And the let's have a look on here. They're 350 new, roughly. Well, even at £350 new, splitting it over the 5 doesn't add much to each lens. But if you were just buying one lens, then you might as well buy the Fuji lens. Unless, like me, you're going to build a kit up that you're going to be able to use on other cameras, plus the Fuji, at a sensible price. I've saved about £1,000 to £1,200 buying this set of lenses as regards buying the Fuji lenses. That £1,000 I can put to another lens or a different body or something like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this video into 2 parts. So this is just my ramblings, my explanation of why I brought these lenses. Because of the cost second hand, because of the versatility of being able to use them on different camera systems if I want to change in the future or add to my system, and because I can adapt them differently on the Fuji cameras. And what I'll do next in a second part is we'll go out, we'll take some stills and some video with each of these lenses and just see how they perform. But I'm not going to compare them to the Fuji. I've used all those Fuji lenses and they're all excellent. They're all fantastic. They work a treat. No problem whatsoever. So I'm not going to compare them because I don't think that's fair. The Fuji's going to win. But I'm just going to show how these actually work and what problems you may or may not come across when using them on a Fuji camera. And I'll do that in the second part. For now, this is just my quick look at why I brought these and my use case scenarios that I've got them for. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. That helps the channel. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button.